This is Dan Meyer with RCR Wireless at the Telecom Console Industry Innovation event here in California, and I am joined by Matt Chang from
Rebeless.
And what do you guys do in the market?
Rebeless is a new company that's focusing on extremely wideband RF signal processing in the radio front end.
Interesting. Okay, so give me some more details on that.
Yeah. Okay. So what we do is, the problem that we're focusing on is all about wireless interference. Yep. So wireless interference is kind of the problem in all of these. It's pretty much what the radio front end is built for. Yep. To isolate different bands from each other and to prevent them from interfering. So that market is huge and it's growing with the number of LTE bands that are out there and growing as well as their bandwidth. Yeah. And so what we do is we bring to the table the ability to consolidate a lot of that front end. So as we're in LTE, you have a different front end for every band. We want to consolidate all of that and bring it into one or two pieces of equipment that is wideband, that can handle wide channels, but can also tune between the different bands that exist out there. So it's just a much simpler solution compared to what's currently done in the front end. And the way we do that, our technology, if you will, is optics. Okay. So we do optics for radio frequency signal processing all on one chip.
Interesting. Okay, and obviously, yeah, like you said, there is a explosion of spectrum being used out there for LTE. Again, antennas are just going to be multiplying all over the place. So it seems like you guys are looking at kind of consolidating all those challenges down to make it much simpler for operators then to roll out their LTE networks, but also support greater bands out there as well.
That's exactly what we're looking at. I mean, we want to target what the problems that exist out right there right now. Yeah. So we've talked to strategic partners who are really interested in relaxing some of their filter requirements, for example. But really, looking down the road, there's a lot of opportunity related to, as you mentioned, the wide bandwidth as well as the number of bands that's going to be out there.
When you talk about the wide band, like how big of channels are we talking about here?
Yeah. So what we're looking at, kind of the benchmark that we use is 100 megahertz, but we go much larger than that, and it really depends on the performance. The performance of the technology changes with respect to bandwidth. Mm-hmm. So it really depends on your application and the bandwidths that you're looking at, and that's where we can put a finger down on a spec there for you. But to kind of give you an example, we've tested with the optics, we've tested technologies up to 3 gigahertz. And the whole reason why we can do that is, really easy to relate to. It's all about, for example, fiber optics and the internet. The only reason why you can drive all this data through the internet is because of the optics and the fiber. And when you put any RF signal, 0 to 10 gigahertz or whatever, onto an optical carrier that's 193 terahertz, the RF signal is pretty much narrowband at that point. So you're able to do everything in there. Yeah,
it's amazing. And again, it seems like the specifications for LTE, especially as we look towards 5G and things are evolving so quickly, that it does seem like those wider channels are going to be key to kind of everything moving forward. I mean, that's going to be a big part of what's happening. And obviously, operators are going to be looking for ways to efficiently kind of migrate to those new ways of doing things too, but do it in an efficient manner too.
Yeah, that's what we're looking at. And carrier aggregation is another big one. That even if you don't have, per se, huge channels, you have channels that might be spread across extremely wide bandwidths. Yeah. So how do you do that? How do you do the multi-band processing that a lot of people are interested in? That's kind of some of the questions that we're looking into and the problems that we hope to solve.
Yeah, and you guys are actually working on those aspects, because it does seem like you're right, carrier aggregation, whether it's 2-channel or 3-channel aggregation. I mean, people are trying to bring bands in from all over the place. That's going to be a huge infrastructure challenge for companies. Well, I mean, obviously the technology can support it, but there's also the infrastructure issues that need to work through as well.
Yeah, exactly. So we're looking at the infrastructure side. Of course, this is something that we have to evolve with the evolution that's going in. No one knows exactly where 5G is going to be, but we want to position ourselves as best as we can so that we can address those problems that will arise and the challenges that will arise.
And then who are your more direct customers? I mean, are you looking to work with the operators, with vendors, antenna? I mean, who's your kind of your target?
Our target, at least immediately, is more the suppliers who provide some of the infrastructure. That's where we're looking kind of to launch with first.
Gotcha. And what kind of reception have you seen so far? I mean, obviously with this event here, I'm sure you guys got some pretty good meetings here. But what sort of general kind of reception are you seeing out in the market for your products?
Yeah, it's pretty. We just kind of came out of stealth today, so this is kind of our first boot up. So a lot of the feedback we're getting are from the people that we're meeting here at this event today. It's been good so far. We've talked to a few people outside, kind of previously on the side, and there's a lot of interest because optics is something that you've never heard of before in this space per se. So there's definitely a lot of curiosity, a lot of interest. And when you talk about the capabilities there, I think it catches people's eye. So it's been really good for the reception so far.
Yeah, and obviously the meetings here, again, I know we were talking a little bit off camera how intense these meetings can be. I mean, you got 10 or so minutes to kind of get your point across. Right. How has that been for you guys, kind of your first time here, or for yourself being here and kind of going through these meetings here?
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun for me. Yeah. I've never done something quite compact as you were mentioning in this event, so I've been having a blast. I think these guys are a little more experienced, a little older, so they've been through it before. But I really enjoy it because I think it's also highly efficient. in addition to being compact. You can really pack a lot of those meetings that would typically take maybe a month to really get in, and here we have all of it is right here. So I love it. It's great.
And working with Telecom Council, have they been pretty, I'm guessing, pretty supportive of you guys to kind of be part of this and making sure the meetings get set up for you guys too? I'm guessing that's worked out pretty well. In addition,
they've done a great job with setting this up, organizing it, and bringing all the pieces together. I don't think I've seen any other organization that's done it better. They even remind us when we forget about things. So
nice to have. Yeah, it's good. Exactly. Well, hey, great. But Matt, we definitely appreciate the insight there. Obviously, you guys got a pretty interesting technology. I'm guessing the market going forward for you guys is going to be pretty big too. Again, this is a topic that's going to be growing and growing, it seems. So I'm sure you guys will be busy over the next several years with this.
Yeah, we hope so, and we intend to be. We intend to be right there. So
that sounds good. Well, again, appreciate the time today. Thanks so much.
Cool. Thank you
All right,
much.
appreciate it. Thanks. All right. Well, this is Dan Meyer with RCR at the Telecom Council Innovation Showcase. Thanks for watching.